Is this it? Am I on? Alright, so apparently the Quincy library turns off when there's inactivity. So even though I'm streaming, that's not active enough. I gotta be clicking things. So I need to be clicking websites, I need to be clicking whatever, because if I don't for 30 minutes I get cut off. Alright, I don't know where I got stopped on the reading, but I clicked out of that, so I'm done with that. What's it called again? The notice to stay sentence, something like that. The notice to stay sentence. All right, I have another. No, this is not going to be easy to find. The trial transcript should be. I've had the trial transcript. What am I? Well, I guess I just got another copy. I finally realized that I did have a trial transcript, and I'm gonna just try to open it up. Okay, there it is. And whoops, go to, that's it, yes, okay, and now I want to move up. Alright, that was the, oh wait, is that it? It came up already? No, trial hearing. Um, okay, it popped up as soon as I opened it. That never happens. Wow, look at that. We'll talk about better service. Alright, let me just make sure. Whatever. That's, so I clicked, okay, it's strange, I clicked out of this Adobe window. I totally closed it for the stay of sentence, and then I open it up again with a different document, this trial hearing, and it opens right. It opens up right on the screen. That's different. So before I would have to take a couple extra steps. So I have to remember that when I'm on Adobe PDF, I can close out of a previous document completely and then open up another document and it'll open right up on the live stream. You just got to be aware of that. Alright, well, let's figure this out then. It's it's in two spots. It was with Parker, and it was during Benjamin's examination, and it's also with Officer Jordan Davis, and it was my cross-examination. So I have Parker. I know Parker pretty good. I guess I start at 114. I think it was kind of early, so let's look for 114. I can't just type in that page, can I? Can I? 114? Boom. That's yeah. All right. So I start asking. Direct examination continues. What? And it should cross-examination. Okay. No, there's a part. Wait. Okay. Are you aware that you can failure? Okay. Now it's asking about his personal or professional opinion, and I was like, okay, personal. Let's get your personal opinion. And of course, there was an objection to that one. Davis acts like a complete idiot, like he has at my arrest, and any time I've ever seen the guy. I'm sure he acts like an idiot even outside my presence. There was basic questions he didn't understand even at this trial. Okay, he would be an A and he would ask personal or professional. So I'm going to look for that. I'm still not understanding your question. So you'll see a lot of confusion with him. I'll see if I can figure out how to present that later. It has nothing to do with the case. I may have already skipped it, huh? Because he asked it early on. This personal or professional. Is it your belief that a person has to identify? Are you asking my personal belief? Okay, so I skipped it, I think. It is your belief. And then he asks, are you asking my personal belief? It is your belief. It is your. Is it? Okay, then there's an objection. It is your professional belief. Okay. Is it your personal belief that a person. Okay, that's where I go into it. Okay. Is it your personal belief that a person has to identify themselves to you upon your request, no matter what the circuit? And then we got an objection. Your Honor, I'm going to object here because. Well, am I connected still? I gotta go do some internet stuff so it doesn't cut off, I guess. All right, personal. What is the difference here? Your personal beliefs or your professional beliefs? So we got an objection. Your Honor, I'm going to object here because there has been no testimony from the witness that he used any of his personal knowledge in this case. There's something. GoPro webcam died. All right. It seems the application crashed in the last session. Do you want to send the reports? Okay. There has been no testimony from the witness that he used any of his personal knowledge in this case. He articulated his professional knowledge based upon him being a police officer. He's not indicated any opinion that he has. Alright, and then Judge Owsley sustains that objection because Mr. Davis, since Mr. Davis, Officer Davis, you got a little confused there. I'm sorry, is here as an officer and not in his private capacity. Let any questions be left for him as an officer. So to remove any personal beliefs and just ask him what his professional beliefs are. And I find that interesting because the librarian was allowed, and I did not argue that. All right, I didn't think that to look back on the difference between personal belief and professional belief with librarian Rosalind. So we got page 121. Just in case I forget, I want to write that down. Just it'd be kind of nice to open up two of these. So, but I can probably type in the difference. So it's maybe I'll just remember it. 121. If I forget the page, somebody remind me. Even though, yeah, because I'm really watching chat closely. All right, your personal belief versus your professional belief, and now Rosalind was I forget. On 121, we got that clear that Officer Davis is such a professional. He brought no personal beliefs into this arrest. And now, what about Rosalind? From on direct examination by Mr. Benjamin, 29 to 39. All right, let me just write it in. I think it's about 30. No, it's a little later than 30. Oh my God, I have this down here the whole time. I totally forgot about. Let me clip this up a little higher. All right, 29:30. All right, so there was an objection. Pretty much, that should be easy to find, actually. So it's kind of towards the end. Objection, speculation. All right. Now, we're looking at the difference. This is very similar to personal belief and professional belief. I objected to speculation about what was going through her head to call the cops on me as I looked around the library. And this is what the judge said. Well, the witness was a witness. I think that she can answer to what she felt at the time. I think so. He thinks her, in her professional capacity, she was on the clock. She can answer how she felt at the time. I think that it's not, she may or may not be right. Oh, she may or not be right, but it's a question of what was in her mind at the time. What was in her mind at the time concerning the circumstances? And since she was a direct witness, I'll allow it. And, okay, what did I say? 121? So this is comparing 33 to 121. I'm going to sustain it since Officer Davis, my bad. I'm sorry, is here as an officer and not in his private capacity. Well, the librarian is here as a librarian and not as just a random citizen calling the cops on me at the library. How often does that happen? How often does a random citizen at a random visitor at the library call on another visitor at the library for just walking and looking around a library? Let any questions be left for him as an officer. Well, what about Rosalind? So I would remove any personal beliefs that okay, I would remove any personal beliefs. All right, what was that? Now I forget. 30. What was it? 30 something. Now I got to look at it again. Something 30 something to 121. Okay, 33 to 121. I would remove any personal beliefs but it's a question of what was in her mind at the time concerning the circumstances. I would remove any personal beliefs, but it is a question of what was in her mind at the time concerning her circumstances. These are very like differing opinions on the same subject that's that Mr. Owsley has, and it's very disturbing. So let me just okay. What it's okay. Let me just say 33. I'll write. I'll show this 33 to 121. Just two differing statements between two professionals on my arrest. Where does that show? Down over there? Okay, maybe I could slip it over. Maybe I could squeeze it a little bit. Just a tiny bit there. All right, 33 to 121. I'm on 33. And I think it's she may or okay. How about you could say this? You know, it really it depends on who's more professional, the librarian or the cop. I mean, apparently the cops are more allowed to remove to be the cops are more allowed to have this wall, uh, this barrier, this perceived barrier where they're allowed to remove their personal beliefs more than other professionals when we're all pretty much operating on this very similar human nature. There's a very similar pattern of behavior with all of our human nature. Yet cops, what? Could you prove that cops have this inane ability to remove their personal from professional behaviors or beliefs? Is there some way to study or some way to prove that there's a way for cops to separate their personal from professional beliefs. Contradicting. Yeah, there you go. I don't know. So Owsley is very inconsistent between librarian Rosalind and the cop. In his summary, he said that you were in trouble for not giving your name, and then later on said it was for not giving your name or ID. The judge is clearly stressed out. Uh, I mean, he's, he has his beliefs, and he followed through on his beliefs, his own personal beliefs that most people don't. Uh, well, I mean, all he needs are the voters, and if he's within his district, if most of his voters are beating up their wives and and drinking and driving and stealing, and he's giving them very light sentences, no jail. Those are his voters he's trying to appeal to. They're going to sit back and be like, hey, I'm willing to give my ID, and I'm not willing, and I really appreciate the light sentences for battery and the strangulation, drinking and driving, and stealing. I appreciate Owsley giving light sentences for these violent criminal behaviors, and I agree with him for throwing people in jail over their ID. He's got that kind of a voter base where he's comfortable enough to sit back and make these type of decisions um, in his district, and that's all he cares about because his jurisdiction's so small. Like a lot of things with him, more and more Karens are making the cops perform their bidding. It's bad law down there, and the cops go along with it because they know how it all goes down there. Okay, so there's uh, the the difference. There's a contradiction that I just want to write down. So I think okay, I'm gonna just say, I'm gonna just start there. She may or may not be right, but it's I gotta scroll up. Alright. It's a question of what was in her mind. Come on. It's a question of what was in her mind at the time concerning the circumstances. Okay, now 121. What is going on with 121? This is the statement. This is him giving permission to Rosalind for giving her personal feelings. Continuing, he sustained Cloyd's objection, and he said, "Let's hear it." And then what? I thought I was getting kicked. I just am I still on? The library almost kicked me off. I'm gonna click on a link just for something. All right, entertainment. Justin Bieber and wife Haley made a great team amid recent. Oh, it just switched. Well, all right. We clicked on something, so now it should be connected. All right. So I was going to what's that? 33, comparing 33 to 121. Judge Owsley allowed all these crazy thoughts from Rosalind. Now let's go to 121. All right, I'm going to sustain it. All right, let's copy this because I can't copy and paste. I have to type it. Oh man, I got terrible digestion. All right, so that's Rosalind. Let me just Owsley on Rosalind. Well, she is a real obvious indicator. She may or not be okay. And then he sustains he sustain he yeah he sustains he pretty much sustains my prosecutor's uh, motions on both accounts. I'm going to sustain it since Mr. Davis, Officer Davis, because you can only be an officer or Mr. There's definitely a solid line between the two with his courts. There's no blur there, blurred territory. I'm gonna keep that. I like that. Mr. Davis is here as an officer and not in his private capacity. Let's see. And okay, let's uh, any questions be left for him as an officer, so I would remove any personal beliefs and just ask him. See, in this, Davis set Judge Owsley up, which is great. Davis, he's an idiot, but this controversy would not have, this little difference in hypocrisy would not have been brought to light had Davis not been so dumb and been and asked, is this my personal opinion or my professional opinion? It's beautiful that he did that because he set it up to where he could find hypocrisy in this matter. Him trying to be all smart, and he thinks he's so clever. All right, I'm gonna increase. All right, increase. All right, so just to point out, I just want to look at this a little closer. All right. Whoops, no, not that one. Over here, a little bit, squeeze. I can make it a little bit small, whatever. Okay, it's a question of what was in her mind at the time concerning the circumstances. We must know what was in her mind at the time concerning the circumstances. However, we don't want to know what was in the mind of Officer Davis on his personal beliefs. We must know Rosalind's personal beliefs, but we cannot know Officer Davis's personal beliefs. Now this was set up for me. I probably could have made Owsley's head explode if I knew the to bring this up at the right time. I could have overwhelmed him with a gotcha moment. Because we got the order of events here. Oh, let me go back. It's not showing, is it? It's not going to show. I'll just shrink or flip. Shrink or flip. That's not it. This will go in front. This can go behind. We got the order of events. So what happened first? Rosalind Parker was questioned first. So that information was there. He allowed Rosalind's personal beliefs to slip into the evaluation of the situation. So if I had any sense as a lawyer, I could have remembered that, and when we got to the controversy about Officer Davis's personal or professional beliefs, I could have brought up that hypocrisy that the prosecutor and judge were using against me, and say, hey, you allowed Parker's personal beliefs in, but that's me. I'm a bad defendant. That's why that's partly why I got 30 days, huh? Because I'm not a good lawyer. That's, I didn't think of this until, what, just an hour ago? I'm like, whoa, you know, there's a little hypocrisy there. And now I'm bringing it to light. I'm a little late for court. I'm a little late for my trial. That's how they take advantage of you. So they take advantage of us slow thinkers. They choose to go after some of the lamest cases to prosecute. Yeah, they don't. They just let those wife beaters go. Just you pay. It's pretty much the wife beaters pay to beat their wives, pay to beat your dates, pay to beat the spouses, and get in no jail. You just pay some money. It's like you're pay to play, pay to do it. But when it comes to your ID, you don't pay to not give your ID. You go to jail to not give your ID. Well, and then they take your ID anyway. They fingerprint you and take your picture and then strip you down and search you. All right, Davis can't. Yeah, Davis is never wrong. He's trained. They train the Louisiana cops like Marines. Everything they say is right. They go after low-hanging fruit because that's what's taught in law school. Okay. The government is the number one cause of poverty. Yeah, government has a big hand in causing poverty. That's for sure. At least in my personal experience. Let's see. Professionally, I was right, but in my personal opinion, yeah, there you go. Professionally, I was right, but I really don't believe this. I'm gonna arrest you for this professionally, but personally, I would never do that. There's a big difference. And Judge Owsley is trying to say that there is a fine line between professional and personal, and there isn't. And there's a fine line for only cops, but there's not a fine line for the rest of us. For some reason, he thinks that human nature is removed from the police training, from the police activities. Human nature does not exist in police work, okay, but it exists in others. So we want to know their personal beliefs. It's insane. And I mean, this is the same guy who will throw somebody in jail over their ID, but let somebody who's choked their wives walk free. You want the police neutered, but move away once that happens. Yeah, Wood, I was thinking that too. You are so comfortable going after the weak. Okay, so I see there's comments here. I see there's a few people watching. I really don't have anything else to add now. The first live stream was cut off because of lack of activity. Let me type in. I gotta click on another link so this doesn't cut out again. Let's see. I don't know, something about celebrities. Okay, I clicked on celebrity. Britney Spears marries Sam Asghari in front of A-list guest Paris Hilton. All right, so I should be good for a little bit. All right, Lackluster's here. We can stop the live stream now. I don't really have anything else to add. I was just okay. Let me just to sum up. All right, this was well. Let me just show the notepad because that's the summary. Pretty much is the notepad. Capture to put it in front. So this is the summary. There is a hypocrisy, and let me write this. The hypocrisy, hypocrisy is clear between uh, cops not being allowed to share their personal opinions. Oh man, okay. The hypocrisy about cops not being allowed to share their personal opinions, but everybody else is allowed to share their personal opinions. And I'll just say, at my trial. Personal opinion versus professional opinion. All right, that's the controversy here, and it was very clearly established in Judge Owsley's courts. So that's what I'm just saying in this video, and I'll put it in the description too. I just want to say that there's been made a clear distinction between these concepts on how judges perceive. All right, he's protecting the cops. That's a protection. He's protecting. He's given a clear protection for the cops to say that we don't talk about cops' personal opinions, but we let other people talk about their personal opinions. That's a clear protection on his part. I'd call it misconduct. That's such a hypocritical stance to take. It's something to be argued, and it's a new situation for me. I've never had a trial, really, so all of this is new to me. And that's it. So I'll stop it here. I got other things to do. Thanks for visiting. So, yep, just gonna stop it.